All right, everybody, Rocket Lab's stock is up almost 2% pre-market, and the rest of the market, the futures, the Dow, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ is down. We've had some huge Rocket Lab news over the last month or two, and I'm gonna explain my $10,500 position in the stock and why I'm incredibly excited for the future. When a stock like Rocket Lab is up in the morning, and it's not on earnings or anything like that, and the rest of the market is down, that means there's gotta be some news that came out. So we'll get to that news in just a second, but right now I wanna show you that I am building a $1 million portfolio right here on YouTube transparently. I've got $87,036. We have put in $92,900, so we're down almost $6,000. We started February 15th, 2022, and here we are today. Okay, so we're down. I'm not worried about it. This is a long-term portfolio. Here's the stocks in the portfolio, right? And Snowflake is my largest position, but Rocket Lab is right up there at $10,500. I have an average share price of $5.08. We own 2,004 shares. The cost was $10,194. And so we are up $351 on the position. So nothing crazy. Where I think this stock is going to win is if they do an awesome job in the next 5, 10, and 15 years. I think, the cost basis for this stock, it's not going to matter if I bought it at $5, $6, or $7. I think there's a lot of upside there, but that's just my personal opinion. All right, let's get to the news of the day. This is Seeking Alpha, and right here it says it's up $3 or 3.2%. I don't know which one is more accurate and what's going to happen. I really do not care what happens on a day-to-day basis. What I care about is that they continue to be the leader in small launch operations, and they keep expanding their portfolio of the things that they can do, the services that they can provide to others, and they are doing an awesome job at that. Let's cover the news over the last month or so. First of all, this stock is very underfollowed, right? Which I love underfollowed stocks and getting in them early and staying in them longer than most other people. 8,850 followers on Seeking Alpha. Just for comparison, this is Tesla, obviously. 1.02 million followers. But if you look at almost any other company, they're going to have more followers than Rocket Lab, than 8,850. And so I like that. It's underfollowed. There's more people that are going to catch on. And this is actually shown right here. They had a good earnings report, and then Bank of America the next day came out and said they're a top small and middle-sized company pick. Then Morgan Stanley came out 5 days later and said Rocket Lab is called a space stock standout. Then on August 31st, Rocket Lab rallies after Cowen says it is the small launch leader. So look, these investment banks are just starting to cover Rocket Lab and just starting to come out with positive news. But the stock is so small, the market cap is so small, that there's so many funds and investors and hedge funds, all kinds of things that can't even invest in the stock because it's just too small. As a stock gets larger, the trading volume gets higher, the market cap gets higher, the company becomes more established. It starts to fall into the category where more people can invest in it, more big money can invest in it. And that all that can do is help a stock. But that's not why I'm invested in Rocket Lab. I just like those underlying factors when not everybody's talking about a stock and not everybody's already able to invest in it, if it's a good company. The three things that I really like about the stock that has happened, about the company that have happened recently, again, we go back to the earnings. They beat on earnings. They missed on GAAP EPS, but that doesn't matter. They're investing so much. They beat on revenue, which is what we're really paying attention to because that is the demand for their launch services and their other services. They beat that nicely, and then they upped their guidance as well. That's what we really care about right now is revenue. EPS doesn't really matter because they're investing so heavily in the business. But here's the two news items recently. The reason the stock's up this morning is because there was news that US Transcom and Rocket Lab are essentially partnering for exploring the potential for cargo delivery on Earth. This is crazy to think about. The stock gained 5.2% after the market hours on Tuesday after it announced a cooperative research and development agreement with the U.S. Transportation Command. The deal aims to explore using Rocket Lab's Neutron and Electron launch vehicles. That's essentially their two launch rockets. Electron is the small launch, and then Neutron is actually going to be the large satellite launch rocket to transport cargo around the world. Rocket Lab will also explore using its Photon spacecraft to establish on-orbit cargo depots and deliver re-entry capabilities. So Photon was actually used in the NASA Capstone mission, which was one of the most challenging missions, and it just performed above expectations. And when that happens, other people catch on, especially when it's on such a high-profile mission like the NASA Capstone mission was. It starts to bring more attention, right? And so this is an example. Now that they have proven that capability and reliability, there's a lot more potential and interest in using that spacecraft or engine for different things. Another big thing here is the deal supports the U.S. Air Force's Rocket Cargo project, which is exploring new transport concepts for sending supplies and equipment through space. So these are all great things. None of this is revenue that's going to hit the bottom line tomorrow, but it's progression along the lines of Rocket Lab becoming a more credible, established, and just reaffirming its position as a leader in the launch industry. All right, other big news is that Rocket Lab took another step forward in the goal to reuse orbital rockets. Part of that comes down to the engines that were used on previous launches, being able to use them again. And so Rocket Lab announced that it successfully test-fired a reused Rutherford first-stage engine for the first time. So it was a full-duration, full-thrust test fire of the refurbished Rutherford engine, and it was previously successfully launched to space and returned to Earth using Rocket Lab's recent recovery mission launched on May 2nd. So it passed all of the same acceptance tests that they perform every time for every engine, including 200 seconds of engine fire and multiple restarts. So the data shows it produced full thrust and it performed to the same standard of a newly built Rutherford engine. The company called it a significant technical achievement in the effort to make the Electron launch vehicle the world's first reusable orbital small rocket. I talked about Rocket Lab in previous videos on this channel. Just search Rocket Lab on my channel, you'll find them. It is a very highly volatile and risky company. I'm comfortable with my $10,500 investment in the company, knowing it could drop by 50% or more. Who knows? That's the type of investor I am. With my position, I can ride along for this tremendous upside as long as this company keeps performing. I don't think that upside is going to be in the next 6 months or a year. I don't care about that. I think I'm really excited about 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years as the space industry continues to expand and become more and more important. Rocket Lab right now appears to me to be positioned as a very important company in the space industry and a leader in the industry. And that's the type of companies I want to own.